So, great writing about a not great story. And yet, this goes on for a tetralogy. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. We're here today to chat a little bit about Rabbit Run by John Updike. This book was on my TBR forever and I didn't really know what it was about, except that all the books seem to have this basketball on the cover. So I went outside to take some pictures, and so I'll insert some clips showing me trying to spin the basketball unsuccessfully. Not even with editing could it look like I could spin the basketball. But it was fun. It was fun to try. So yeah, Rabbit Run is about a 26-year-old man named Harry Angstrom, but he was called Rabbit in his glory days, which happened in high school. So yeah, we read about a man who his glory days were in high school. He peaked in high school. And so at 26, he's kind of washed up. He's kind of having a midlife crisis, except he's 26. Book set in 1960s. Rabbit is a white man. And so we're reading a little bit about white privilege at a time when one of the most significant civil rights evolutions was happening in the United States. And yet this man is completely insulated from it. There's almost no discussion about anything aside from Rabbit's problems, Rabbit's life, and his ennui, his jadedness with all the beautiful things that should be happening to him, but that he doesn't appreciate because he's wishing for times gone by when he was the star of the show. So whenever he's not the star of the show, he disappears. And so yeah, Rabbit runs. So in the beginning of the book, we read about his domestic life. So he has a not so fulfilling job as a salesman. Again, white man in the 1960s. And we read about him coming home to his pregnant wife, and he's not nice to her. Immediately, we know that their relationship is terrible. But she doesn't seem, she's not a very strong character either. So yeah, he goes to pick up his son from his parents' house. So Rabbit's parents are watching Rabbit's son for the evening, and so Rabbit is supposed to go pick up his son, but on a whim he sees his son through the window and he decides not to pick him up, and he just keeps going. So yeah, Rabbit is a very unlikable character, and yet John Updike's writing is such that you feel yourself being sympathetic, being drawn into the story, caring about what happens in the life of a man who doesn't care about his own life, apparently, because the decisions he makes are very self-destructive, very self-sabotaging. So yeah, I don't know why that is, but John Updike's writing is excellent. So great writing about a not great story. And yet this goes on for a tetralogy. There are 4 books in the Rabbit Run series, and I'm kind of here for them because the writing is really good. So Updike explores domestic life and the early onset midlife crisis. He explores a little bit about religion because the priest for the family is tasked with trying to befriend Rabbit and inveigling him to return to his family. So we learn a little bit about the priest, Jack Eccles, and the minister who is his colleague, who their discussion about religion and the role of the minister in the lives of the parishioners. Very, very interesting. Updike's take on a lot of these big picture discussions, big picture themes is very interesting in this book. So we read a little bit about, like I said, domestic life and life in the 1960s for privileged white people. But also a little bit about religion and the evolution of our thinking about religion and the role of religion in our lives. Yeah. There's also a lot of discussion about women and the autonomy that women should have over their lives and their bodies and their choices, and a little bit of the gender politics. Why can't a woman do what a man can do? That kind of thing. So yeah, at the end, even though you dislike this character, you get really invested in the story. John Updike's writing is such that the reader only is privy to some of the things that are happening, because it's this It's this narrative where we're learning snippets about the characters, and the characters themselves get so distracted by other things that they're not really paying attention. They're not keeping track of what's happening, but the reader can. So the reader gets invested, the reader gets intimate with the story, gets intimate with the characters in a way that the other characters can't. So it's almost like we stay one step ahead of Rabbit. We can run faster than Rabbit. We can stay one step ahead of Eccles, the minister, who's trying to work this thing out, as well as the other characters, Rabbit's wife, and the other people. The minister's wife, Rabbit's girlfriend. Yeah, spoiler, not so much. Yeah, there's a lot that happens in this book, and the characters are not always able to put all the snippets together to make a complete picture, but the reader can, and so we get so invested in the story. Like I said, the writing is what takes this book to the next level. And so yeah, I think I'm going to read the rest of the series. At the beginning, I wasn't sure that I was even going to finish this book, but now, yeah, I'm in for the rest of it. So first of the Rabbit series, and more, I guess, later. So yeah, let me know if you've read about Rabbit. Harry Angstrom, aka Rabbit, former high school basketball star, washed up in his 20s, and yeah. Let me know what you think about Rabbit if you've read this book, and if you hung around for the rest of the series. Tell me it gets better. Tell me he gets better. In any case, we'll chat in the comments down below if you've read this, or if hearing me chat a little bit about this book makes you want to pick it up. Would love to know that as well. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let's chat in the comments, and until we come back for another video, happy reading. Bye.